TTT THROWDOWN!
This week, our demo athlete is Maxwell El-Hag.
Throwdown 292. Every 3 minutes for 3 sets of each. You're going to alternate between a 2-minute AMRAP, 15 cal echo bike for the guys, 12 for the girls, and then max toes to bar in the remaining time. Rest 1 minute, 2-minute AMRAP, 12 power cleans, and max effort echo bike cows until the 2-minute mark.
Come on, Maxwell. Your time to shine. Show the community what you're made of. Your effort is your choice.
Those were my words of motivation for Maxwell before he started this one.
Was it motivation or was it making fun of him?
No, this was motivation.
Okay.
He definitely seemed very amped up and focused when I walked in. He had his headphones in. He was definitely dialed. And I tried to crack a few jokes, and he definitely did not budge and make
appreciate
any.
your jokes.
Yeah, I was like, come on.
He told me he had been stressing out for 3 days knowing he had to film this.
Which I think is just so good for everybody to see that, look, we all get stressed out about these things. But no, to start off, he actually did really well. I know when he went into this, he kind of had a game plan of trying to hold, I think 50 was the target on toes to bar at the end of this.
To get 50 total reps?
To get 50 total. So around 17-ish.
No grips.
No grips, just straight raw dogging it
Wild
right
man.
onto the bar. But I knew he had a game plan of like right at 45 seconds, and he hopped off the bike right at that time that he had a prediction of. I definitely think if you are better on toes to bar, cruise a little bit less on the bike just to save yourself, and then hop off and then go for bigger sets if you can.
Yeah, I think you have so much time before you come back for your next set of toes to bar that it's okay to kind of go like a little deep on this first set and try to bank reps. I think you'll recover enough, or it might not be totally linear on your next set, but I don't think you're going to totally explode by going a little bit hotter on this first set of toes to bar.
Yeah, and it's not like you have to buy in again with the toes to bar. So getting to go back to the clean on the second one, I think allows you to still really push the pace. I forget what he did. I want to say it was 27, I think is what he got here in the first set. So definitely well above
that's way above his goal
of hitting 50. And then in the middle of it, I yelled out some motivation for him here at the end that I'll let everybody know. We'll see if he... Did you pick it up on the camera?
Maybe. We'll see.
So he did a good job there of using all of the time on the clock. I think that's super important in a workout like this where you have a minute rest in between. Even if it's just hopping back up for one more rep on toes to bar, make sure you bleed out the whole clock.
Yeah. To me, on paper, this one is substantially worse. Just knowing I'm going to have to be biking for a longer period of time. I think if you are better on the barbell, you could do some touch and go. It being 135, I think even if you did 4 sets of 3 or 3 sets of 4, something like that, I think for me personally would be something I would try to do just to get a few more reps than just singles. And then I think for pace on the bike, you're looking at somewhere, I would say just at kind of like 10-minute threshold pace, like something you know you can sustain, but still going to be a pretty hard challenge.
He's doing a good job here with his tempo. I like how he grabs the bar with both hands at the same time and then just pulls. He's not spending a lot of time in the bottom position. If you aren't used to doing that, I highly recommend practicing it because it saves so much time in qualifiers, and it's a hard thing to just do if you don't practice. So put on your list of off-season tasks to practice putting both hands on the bar at the same time.
Hey, that's something we're going to be talking about at the community camp this weekend.
Wow.
Hand placement on the setup. What is that pace? What's he at? 392. Oh, nice. 378, 392.
I think he was at like 4.
Man said,
450 on the first one, which makes sense when you're going onto the bike off of, well, he was completely fresh, but on his next round, he'll be going onto the bike off of a rest, probably be a little bit faster pace than when you're coming off of cleans going into the bike, but I think this is still like very strong.
Yeah. I think it's also, too, knowing when you only have to do 15 calories and that's the target of the number I have to hit is a little easier to hold a little faster pace than knowing, I have a minute and 25 seconds here potentially on the echo bike that I had to kind of push.
Sure. Are we going to be able to see how many he gets?
Was that 16, 17?
You have good eyes. I can't see it at all.
I do have good eyes. Compliment. I'll take it.
All right. What's it at?
We are at 19. Might have ticked over to 20, like right at the buzzer there. Nice. So we had 27 and 20 for set 1. Ah.
I thought you were supposed to demo this with him. Was that ever a thing?
It was briefly, and then I think it was better that he did this by himself. I think he needed that, because I think if I did it with him, it would have been an easy cop-out to just be like, I don't want to do this today.
Okay.
But
all right,
here we are,
Round
back
2.
again. Over 425, 450. So I definitely think he's picking the right paces for him and knowing exactly where that's going to put him for 15. If you're stronger on the bike, of course, push that a little bit more. If you're going to need to break the toes to bar, spend more time there. But I think something around your 10-minute threshold pace, I think, is kind of a good gauge, still knowing you're going to be working for a minute and change on each other movement.
And having a goal of being a little bit, maybe like 2 to 3 RPMs faster on this set of Echo Bike versus when you're doing them after the cleans, I think is a good mental target to have and realistic for athletes.
Yeah. And be okay with it's going to drop off. It's going to drop off for everybody. Like even there, he was another, I think, 6 seconds off, but still keeping that transition here. Man, it blows my mind that he is no grips
I
on
wonder
the
if
bar.
that's you just didn't have any, or if that's a choice.
I think that's a choice.
Wow.
Because his effort's a choice.
Yeah. Okay.
You got that, Chris?
Oh, I got it.
All right, just making sure.
So I think he opened with a set of 5, which is definitely less than what he did the first time around.
Oh, there he goes. Still going. No, I think for most people breaking this up even more, these are kind of simple reps to break pretty quickly. Was it break? What's the saying you always say with it?
Break early. Is that do I have sayings?
No, you have something about like where it's like break. This is an easy movement to break, but you call it a certain thing.
An easy breakable movement?
Yeah. I guess that didn't sound good in my head. But no, I think even if you were doing 3 to 5 reps and then just stuck with that, these longer breaks that he starts getting into, I think you can eliminate some of that because he's around like an 8 to 10 second break between each of those. And to help Maxwell, he did the last, I think he said 25.3 was the last CrossFit style workout that he's done since. So his CrossFit training has been very low before this.
No, he's doing great so far, pacing-wise. So let's see how the barbell cycling goes here. So notice how he doesn't even like really look down at the bar as he puts his hands on it. That's a very, very efficient way to cycle a light barbell. Now, if this bar isn't super light for you, that might not be a good idea because you will, on some reps, pick it up a little uneven, and it has to be light enough that doesn't really matter. But if it is a light bar, then not really looking down and just putting your hands on quickly is great.
Yeah, I think also if your plan is going to be doing singles from the beginning, getting dead stop plates where you're just picking it up and you can see how the plates settle for him right there, versus if you kind of have the bouncy rubber ones, they're moving left and right a lot and you're having to chase after it, and that little bit of time takes a lot away. So play with it in your warm-up of getting a good game plan of how you like that. And I think for touch and going, it doesn't really matter, but more so for this, it does.
When you're cycling, say if you're doing singles on a 135 bar, would you release your hook grip at the top and just like catch the bar a little more relaxed on your shoulders, or receive it more relaxed?
I guess it would depend. I feel like how fatigued I felt in the workout, but I feel like I have a pretty good front rack, so even when I bring it up, it's just kind of like catching in that position for me feels more natural of not letting it go. I feel like the only time I really let it go back is more just like if I'm just front squatting. Because for me, it's not having to keep the restriction. Like I don't feel restricted ever in the front rack from that position. All right, so he's dropped about 40 to 60 watts. RPMs are around 63, 64 right now is what he's holding. This is kind of hard to see from here.
A thing that another focus point you could have on this Echo Bike transition is getting to your working pace within, I'd say, like 5 to 6 seconds for guys and like 7 to 9 seconds for girls. That makes a huge difference in your just like overall calorie accumulation, because if you don't set that kind of a target, it's really easy to just let yourself get to that pace slowly, and you're going to be probably 2 calories off of your target if you do it that way.
Yeah, I think another thing to point out is a lot of people don't pull and push with their arms. That's something I really try to think about, especially when I'm like super fatigued at the end of the workout, is really trying to like rip the handles, because a lot of times, right, it blows up the legs. That's all you kind of like feel, the pain and discomfort, and like of course the breathing heavy. But when you can start to pull more on the handles and push, I think it kind of like distracts my mind a little bit and allows me to like keep that wattage and RPM up a little bit higher.
Do you wrap your thumbs around the handle?
Yes. Yeah, I feel like I always hook grip or wrap my thumbs around everything. Sometimes even when I bench press, like just like my security blanket.
Thumb tape to go running?
Yes. Maybe I just, when like kids are born, they have the hook grip just naturally. I think I just kind of stay in that position all the time.
Fun fact about Travis, he uses an entire roll of tape every day, no matter what he's doing.
We all got our things, okay? Old J-Bird tape helping me out. But, I mean, he's still holding a pretty good pace on the bike. Was around, I think, 51 seconds that split in the first round. I think he was 44. So he's been staying pretty consistent. There's going to be some drop-off to some degree. And, I mean, you can see his toes to bar starting to positionally break down a little bit from the elbow bend. But Maxwell, you're doing really good.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of letting his body open up in the arch position a little bit more than when he started. That's a great way to kind of keep yourself moving in toes to bar when you're feeling that core and hip flexor fatigue, is just spend a little bit more time in the arch to get a little more momentum for your legs on the way up.
Much longer rest here on this one. I think still try to, even if you went to doubles, I think would be a little bit better bet than trying to hang on. Boys had a triple there.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, Travis.
That is true. But I think, right, like you're always trying to improve it. So I also think, right, like if the goal has not been to do much CrossFit, then you can feel it. But he could have got one more, I think, there. But I think his reps ended up being 27, 20, and 14, I think is what it was. So I told him a target before he started of try to get over 60, and I think it was 61.
Nice.
Is what he ended up doing. So way to go, Maxwell. Did a great job on that one.
All right, so similar pace here. Last time he cycled through maybe, I wasn't counting, but it seemed like maybe 2/3 of the reps and then took a little bit of a pause and then kept his same cycle rate, so kind of like cluster sets. That's also a great way to pace through these if you aren't able to just keep bending over immediately and putting your hands on the bar. You could do, I'm going to do 4 quick reps, and then like he did there, took like an extra 1 to 2 breaths at the top, and then cycle through another 3 to 4 quick singles, and that'll help keep you moving. The main thing is don't take a walk away from the bar ever. Even if you're going to rest longer, just stand right where you are on top of the bar, because I guarantee you that rest is going to be shorter than if you even take like 1 to 2 steps back.
Yeah, you can just get your hands on it. Even if you don't pick it up yet, it's going to force you to pick it up a little faster than what you want. Yeah, so coming up with a minute left.
Now this is the worst thing that you could possibly end on.
Yeah. Knowing you have a 1 minute echo bike, essentially max calories at the end of all of this, is more just a gut check. And this is definitely more of the fitness side of things, of when it kicks in, of what are you able and capable of pushing at this point. At this point, it looks like he just wants everything to be done over with.
It looks like he just looked up for divine intervention or something.
Just hoping for something to take the pain away at this point. From a pace standpoint, still at 320. I think he was around 305 to 330 for the last one. So he's still kind of staying on that, starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Ooh, 360. Way to go, Maxwell. Come on. 378.
Once you get into that last 20 to 30 seconds, definitely 20, maybe 30, just close your eyes and drop the hammer on it, and it'll be over soon.
Over before you know it. Coming up on 4 was that 492 holding there at the end? Way to go, Max.
Watch this. Oh, and he almost hit his head on the
most people didn't know, like when we were
thanks.
here watching, he almost split his head open on the edge of that bar, and we were all slightly concerned, and he was not worried at all.
So this is Throwdown 292, which means we're weeks away from Throwdown 300. Maybe we'll have a surprise guest. That means that's almost 6 years worth of Throwdowns every week. Isn't that crazy?
That's a long time.
Man, we are so old.
I know.
No, you can't look at it like that, man. Look at it.
I mean,
it's good that we've stuck with it for
6
years
it's awesome,
to continue
but
to
also,
keep doing that.
Where did 6 years go?
Did you almost killed yourself?
I saw my space. I'm good at falling.
Okay, yeah, they said your head almost hit the barbell.
I tried to make sure I didn't hit Lisa's leg, and I just took a seat or a lay. I needed it.
Well,
yeah, that was hard, man. That was my first CrossFit workout since 25.3. I'd done some intervals at the bike, so I felt okay there. But golly, these things felt hard. Yeah, I feel like elites could probably get like 90 toes to bar. Men, I think. Actually, no, both girls and guys, because there's a scale bike. And I think on the bike, they could go like probably 30. I bet you like 180 could be like a top elite score like Travis did this. But I felt really proud of that. I didn't fall off too much considering after this set of power cleans in set 2, everything from there was just like survival mode. But I was trying to be tough because I know Travis will make fun of me in the commentary. So I did my best. That's all I got.